Good day, everyone. I am Divine Grace Butra,
I am Shayna Mae Bercede.
I'm Marielle Cacho.
and we are the Group 3. Today, we will be discussing the Chapter 2, Lesson 3, which is the moral courage.
Come to the gateway of knowledge and exploration that waits ahead, a table of contents that serves as a guide through the diverse landscape of ideas and information that awaits within. Each topic beckons you to embark on a journey of discovery. So without further ado, let the adventure begin as you turn the pages of wisdom and insights that lie ahead.
So, what is moral courage? Moral courage is the courage to put your moral principles into action, even though you may be in doubt, or afraid, or face adverse consequences. For example, you have a face-to-face class at 7 a.m. and your professor is very strict that he will mark you absent if you are 10 minutes late already. While you are hurrying because it is already 7 a.m., you encountered an old woman who is struggling to walk into the stairs. And then you are having a dilemma whether to help that old woman or to run faster to be in class before you'll be marked absent. The moral courage comes when you decided to help the old woman despite the doubt you are having, despite being afraid to be late and marked absent, and despite the consequences that might happen to your action. Also, moral courage involves careful deliberation and mastery of the self. Of course, when deciding whether to do the thing, we must need careful deliberation to avoid serious consequences. And if happen that you do such thing with a serious consequences, you will be able to overcome it because of the moral courage you are having. And also, bravery is needed to stand up for what is right in often challenging situations. It involves thinking through the consequences, being thoughtful in decision making, and having control over one's emotion. Lastly, moral courage is essential not only to have a virtuous life but also a happy one, because integrity is essential to self-esteem. So moral courage and integrity are closely linked to self-esteem. When you constantly act in alignment with your values and principles, even in challenging situations, you maintain your self-respect and self-worth. Living with integrity allows you to build trust within yourself, which contribute significantly to a sense of happiness and fulfillment in life. It's about being true to yourself and your beliefs, which often leads to more content and satisfying existence. So that is moral courage.
Let's dive into the exciting world of our moral imagination, shall we? Moral imagination is basically the ability to think outside of the box in terms of ethics or morality. It's about being able to imagine different ways to solve moral problems, understanding how others might feel, and considering the effects of our actions. So, it's like using your imagination to figure out what's the right thing to do. Moral imagination is the ability to empathetically imagine oneself in another situation, to understand their feelings and perspectives, and to use that understanding to guide one's actions.
What is will? Will is the mental capacity to act decisively on one's desire. It is the faculty of mind to initiate action after coming to a resolution following a careful deliberation, according to Joachim 1952. Will refers to the ability to make firm decisions and take action based on one's desires. It involves having mental strength and clarity to act decisively on pursuing what one wants or believes in without hesitation. Essentially, it's about the cognitive ability to turn desires or intentions into purposeful actions. So I ask you now to think of your goals in life. When you think of our path to achieve our goals in life, the will keep us going. It gives us power or mechanism to climb that ladder, to achieve that dream, to achieve the top of it, and that is our goal. And we have to always remember that when we achieve something, let us be reminded of the opportunities to achieve that goal using our will. So that is will.
Why the will is important. I still believe that will is the product of intellect and sensation, and that will give the person the capacity for exciting movement and space. For example, Riza is torn between buying a new smartphone and save up for a trip outside the country. On one hand, she can afford smartphone now. On the other hand, she would be nowhere near the target travel date because her saving is still far from enough. Riza weighed the pros and cons between buying new phone and saving up for her trip. Eventually, she decided to walk away from the store and go to the bank to deposit her money. It was Riza's will that enabled her to walk out of the store without buying the phone she liked. Developing the will. I still discuss the difference between what people decide to do and what they actually do. And Aristotle's philosophy, using the intellect to do decide, is just one part of the moral decision. The resolve to put the decision into action is the role of the will. He said, since vice and virtues are up to us, we become just by the practice of just actions, self-control by exercising self-control, and courageous by practicing acts of courage, as translated by Bird 2016.
And that's all for today. I hope you have learned something from our discussion. Thank you for listening. And once again, we are the Group 3.